Hi everyone, and welcome to Changeling the Lost Littlebrook Reunion. I am Chris, the Primogen, your storyteller for the evening, and we're here to play some beautiful storytelling. I messed it up. We're here to play a storytelling game of beautiful madness. It's only
Beautiful
been 16
madness. Come on.
episodes, and I didn't nail it this time. As usual, I have with me my amazing cast of players. This time, we will start with alphabetical order, last letter of your character's name.
That's me.
That's Nova.
Oh, okay.
No,
Oh, good. I'll go first, and the rest of you can figure
Last
it out.
letters of a character's name. No, I would say,
Oh.
yeah.
Hi, I'm Megan. I play Nova. It has an A at the end, so I go first. And she's a beast with maybe some impulse control issues.
Very good. Thank you very much, Nova. Now, Nate and Tide both end on an E, so I guess Tide is going to go first.
Hi, I'm Kitsu. I play Tide. Tide is an elemental, a little bit hot-headed, despite being ice water based. So
Perfect. Thank you very much. And we'll continue with Nate.
I'm Harry. I play Nate. He's a ferrist, and things are going fine.
They're fine. It's all good. Now, we have 3 characters ending with an S here. Who wants to go first?
Hi, so Silas is an ogre played by me, Trev. He has a great mirror that would probably be better for anyone else who isn't him. And he's also got a new stowaway friend that you might remember from the last session. So things are looking good for him. We'll have to see what happens in the very near future.
Brilliant. Thank you. And next we'll go with...
I'll go next. I am the Toe-Ring, and I am playing Lars. He is the Wizened, and he is part of the level-headed twins. The rest of them just stay clear.
He's so done with them.
sorry.
Hi, I'm Adam, and I'm playing Jonas the Darkling. I guess I'm the other level-headed twin. I hope I am at least. Maybe a bit on the flip side there. Maybe a bit too level-headed and paranoid instead.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And a little recap before we get... Before we do the recap, I believe we have some announcements to make. So, Toe-Ring?
We do have some announcements. All right. First, we're going to start with the Kickstarter. Hunter the Reckoning 2nd Edition Kickstarter is live. 20 days to go. They have already doubled the anticipated pledge, or the requested pledging of 25,000. They actually just passed 63,000 pledged. So they have unlocked a few achievements since the last time we played. At 40,000, they unlocked a storyteller screen. At 55, an additional player's companion was unlocked. At 60,000, they created a basically you can add on a bundle of the first edition titles in PDF form for $3. And today at the 63,000, they actually unlocked a Kickstarter backer exclusive T-shirt. So
awesome.
If we can get to 66, they're going to add even more first edition PDFs. And if we get to 70, it looks like they're going to add a more to the player's companion.
Awesome sauce.
I think that's probably it. There's a few smaller ones. They've released a 2nd edition Night Horrors Spilled Blood for Vampire the Requiem 2nd edition on the Storyteller Vault, and they're still doing the playtest for the Scarred Land stuff. So go check that out on their website, onyxpath.com.
Yep, they're looking for player feedback, and there's new content posted every week. So go check that out, folks. It's a pretty cool D&D setting, 5th edition. I tried it a few times here on the Onyx Path. It's pretty fun to play. And I also would like to, before we start, give a little shout out to the Vampire the Masquerade chapters, which I don't believe need much help from us because they hit over $1 million Canadian dollars not too long ago. So they're just unlocking one thing after another. So if you got a chance to support that tabletop game, which I believe was going to be pretty awesome, then go check that out as well. And I believe that is it for announcements. So let's do a little bit of a quick recap. Last session, our party escaped from Arcadia. Escaped or were let out, it's a little bit up to how you want to interpret it, but you left Arcadia nonetheless. You left on a giant beetle that had taken a liking to Toring's character Lars, and incidentally, it turned into a Volkswagen. Is it called a Beetle?
It's actually the Type 2 bus.
Oh, it's a Type 2 bus. That's right. The one they have on Lost.
Type
that
2
we found. Type 2 bus. Yeah, it's a pretty big car, and that's what it turned into once you passed into the normal world of Littlebrook, America. And, well, you spent a little while there realizing that everyone else in town, and that means all the other changelings in town, had mysteriously gone missing. However, you had only been gone for about 20 minutes. You tried to get in touch with them. You couldn't really reach them. They were out of reception, so you all decided to, let's see, what was it? Some of you decided to visit the car dealership, I believe you did, to see what's up with Nate's fetch. Thank you very much. Nate's fetch was doing just fine. He was showing off a car to some customers, and some of you also went to investigate the local library, realizing that Matthew and the others were not there. It was closed down, but nothing seemed too much out of the ordinary. And as you were doing this, you spotted a large cloud of smoke in the distance. I was going to say you also went to find Mrs. Blackbird at this time, I believe.
No, we tried to, when the school was closed, we tried to
That's
go to
true.
the police station, and that was closed as well.
That's right.
It was the weekend, so we couldn't go.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you also caught a fire truck leaving the police and fire
Yeah.
department, heading towards the old wooden bridge, the passageway you've used to enter Littlebrook twice now from Arcadia, or from the hedge rather. Turned out someone set this bridge on fire, whoever that could have been, and most of it collapsed into a smoldering pile in the river. Not much was being salvageable. Thankfully, it didn't seem like anyone got hurt. Once you did that, you decided to go look for your missing friends up in the forest by the old tree and the field with the old broken cars, although there was not really much remaining of the old broken cars. In fact, there would have been a huge hole in the ground where they once stood. However, before you could do that, you realized there was another person hiding in the Volkswagen. It was a fairly tiny young woman who seemed to have escaped along with you, or at least behind you, once you caused a little bit of a fire in the Goblin Market on your way out of there. Her name was Flicker. She was a little bit shook about the whole situation, and she might have accidentally burnt some of the leather seating of the Volkswagen, which the Beetle did not appreciate too much. However, you managed to calm her down, and you received a text message from, I would say it was from Amanda, saying that they were all okay. They had been to the underground cave, and they had a solution for the mirror. And I do believe that's where we end last session. So, let's see if I get it right this time. Let's play a storytelling game of beautiful madness. You are in the Volkswagen bus, and you're on the road up into the forest. It's midday, and there's a little bit of a tension in the vehicle. Probably not helped by the fact that there doesn't seem to be a radio or a cassette player in the Volkswagen itself, and the only sound in the background is the humming of the engine as you're making your way through the woods. Who's sitting where, and what are you doing?
Can I go?
Lars is driving.
Yeah, that's true. I tried to sit somewhere next to Nova because I tried to offer to get her hands because she got burned.
Yeah, Nova's probably sitting away from this fire person who won't listen to reason, and burned her for no reason just because she was trying to push her out of the car. So she's a little salty and a little singed.
Okay, so I guess I would be sitting maybe on the back seat between them.
Yes, and Nova's just looking out the window, like refuses to turn around.
Just sulking.
I'm taking Nova. I'm gonna take your hands. Okay, I'm gonna soothe those burns. Can you give me
Okay.
your hands.
Keep them
Okay.
away from her.
Yeah, it's fine.
So she'll just
Well,
like offer them.
Tide is focusing on that, like keeping water like circulating over the surface of Nova's palms. We'll have to spend something for that.
It was a superficial.
Yeah, it's like nothing big.
Silas
But
wouldn't
still.
insist on taking shotgun, but he might have to just because he's relatively big. Depends on what this Volkswagen looks like. I thought it would be a Volkswagen Beetle to keep it the Beetle.
That would have been impossible for everyone to fit into.
No, but that's my point. I thought it was like a magical Volkswagen Beetle. That's what I was like,
A clown car.
It was just such an obvious pun to make
It
that
was,
I thought
but it
that's
could
what you were
fit
going
6
with. I'm like,
people.
oh, this is
Yeah.
amazing.
It-
But no,
it-
you're right. You're right. Okay, in that case, if it's that big, I might take the very back seat, like the one right next to the rear of the car, and like kind of bunched up in a corner kind of deal, so I don't smush everyone in the
We
back.
can do a wheelie the whole time.
Wait, if it fits 6 people, there's 7 of us, including the little girl. So I guess I'm sitting on someone's lap.
Who's taking shotgun?
No, don't these cars fit 9 people?
If no one else is taking shotgun, Jonas is taking shotgun.
The reasonable front of the vehicle.
I
Don't
can imagine.
these cars.
I can imagine Nate
Keep it
sitting
down
on
back
one knee of Silas.
Aww.
On beats for Silas, did you say?
I think Nate is sitting on one of Silas's knees.
On his knees? Yeah, that sounds about right. I'd go with that. I'll allow it.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So the car inside, by the way, is getting slowly and progressively more moist as you have a person constantly putting out water sitting next to a person that is constantly kind of slowly getting warmer and then going less warm. So it's kind of balmy in the car right now. And these
It's a
Volkswagens are
sauna.
not famous for their air conditioning, but you're doing as good as you can. Can you open the backseat windows? They have these little hatches, right, that you can open, I believe.
Silas.
Yeah.
Silas, vent the windows. Please.
I think me bending the window, I push on them, and then I can hear a screech. It's not the usual screech of glass. It's almost like an insect is screeching, and I let go immediately. Whatever else, I'm quite confident touching this vehicle with anything short of the respect you would give a real car is going to have what we call adverse effect.
It's okay. We're almost there. Just bear with it.
Before we get there, Jonas turns around to the rest of the group and says, okay, remember what we said before. Do not mention what it wanted. We don't not mention the kid until we know more.
The thing.
Alright.
Yeah.
The ride continues on in silence. As you head towards the forests, drive up to the end of the little road where the hiking route begins, and you get out. Flicker seems reluctant to step outside.
What's
Want me
wrong?
to talk to her?
I don't.
I'll get her out.
I don't want to set fire on the forest. I think I burned the bridge.
Hey, Tide. You should probably talk to the fire person.
Yeah, it's fine. Look, I've got water with me. I'll put it out.
You promise?
I'm gonna do my best. If you promise to
You swear
try
on your name?
best. Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah, I do.
She visibly relaxes, like, all right, okay, I'll come with you.
Have we learned nothing?
I can promise this much.
She kind of steps out of the car, and she is about just shy of, well, not shy, but she's slightly over 5 feet tall, kind of very slender, obviously somewhere in her mid-teens at most. And she's wearing this ballet tutu that looks kind of ragged and torn and frayed at the ends and kind of burnt. And she just looks so small when she's standing next to you. She's like, all right, are we going to go see your friends now?
Yeah.
Is this Littlebrook?
Yeah. Why?
You guys live in a forest?
Littlebrook is more than just a forest.
Okay.
It's like a lot of things.
She kind of nods and then holds out her hand to Tide.
Okay, I like take the hand.
Yeah, she takes it like not hard, but like firmly, and there's a little sizzling sound as some water kind of evaporates, but it doesn't burn you. And she's still relaxed from this. She's like, okay, I'm okay. Let's go.
We're going to meet some other people that are like us, okay? And
What do you mean
they're,
like us?
That have other powers, like not fire, not water, other stuff.
You mean what?
Yeah?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't really know, but they're okay. They're good people. They haven't really hurt us so far that I know, and they don't intend to.
She kind of looks over at Nova like,
Trust me, if they wanted to, like, she would be. I point to Nova. She would be going off at her mouth right now, just saying all the bad things that could have and would have, should have happened. But she's not, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not. I definitely wasn't about to do that.
She nods but looks a little bit skeptical, but follows. And you guys start walking down the trail, right? Remember, it's about 10-15 minutes to the battlefield where you fought the dragon. It feels like so long ago, but it was like, what, a week and a half? Exciting times. You've grown so much since then.
Is there like a footprint or something somewhere in there? Can you see something?
From the dragon?
Yeah.
There is a whole bunch of scorched grass. There is certainly a print or two where the dragon might have stepped. And yeah, you can tell that there was something happening here on this field.
I pause and I point them like, see, when we first came here, a dragon came through too, and a dragon was trying to destroy everything here. And it was just like really bad. So we fought it, and this guy, and I point to Nate, he punched it.
Hell yeah, I did.
You punched a dragon?
Yeah, and this guy, I point to Silas, he wrestled it down. And then I cut it up with a sword. So
she kind of looks at Nova and Jonas and Lars like, what did you guys do to the dragon?
You're too young to know, so don't cross us.
The sizzling kind of grows louder. She starts heating up.
Nova.
Yeah.
Easy.
We did stuff too. It's fine. But look, we know how to deal with fire. Like, Tide's all about fire. You're fine. You're fine, kid. You're fine.
They helped. They know other stuff that helps us along. Nova's really good, like, at finding our way, and Lars is really good at covering tracks and like making things, like useful gadget things. Also, I'm not really good at explaining stuff, but I'm trying, just so you know. And then Jonas can like hide really well, so we all do different things. Everyone's got something that they're really good at, and like I'm sure you got something like that too. So
Yeah, I can
you
burn
don't
stuff.
gotta be worried. Yeah, I mean that can be useful, but maybe these people that will meet will be able to figure out um, how you can control it better. So it's really good that we were going to meet them when you met
What do you mean
us.
control it better? I can control it just fine.
You almost burned me now. It's fine though. It's fine.
All right. As you approach, you spot actually a car parked fairly close to the tree under which there was this passageway down. So it appears that as you come closer, it is the patrol vehicle of Officer Patty. So you, or Deputy Patty, sorry. It would seem that they found another alternative way to getting closer to the tree while you've been gone. And as you come to this exit, you see them standing around talking with each other. And you see Patty, of course. You see Matthew. You see Mrs. Blackbird, who looks even more pregnant than she was when you met her about a week ago. Like she's pretty close to the end of it. And you also see Jim, who is and Amanda, of course, kind of hiding behind Jim, and they're just sort of standing around talking. Apparently, they're waiting for you. They look up as you come. It's like, oh, Amanda waves. How did it go?
Stuff happened. Some good stuff, and also like some not good stuff, and also we got a Bernie kid with us now. Careful, don't touch her. Show my hands.
I'll burn you, she says. Not she's kind of like standing halfway behind Tide, like trying to look intimidating, but she's not doing a very good job.
Her name is Flicker. Sorry, go on.
I think I missed the episode when Jim was introduced. Who is
Jim?
Jim?
Is a giant, smooth, stone-based ogre. Like he looks like something carved out of flintstone. He has no hair on his body, and he is, if not the same size, and slightly taller than Silas, and certainly broader. Like he's very broad-shouldered. He's kind of chiseled out of rock. Not the smartest, not the brightest bulb in the box, but certainly very thoughtful. He's the one who provided you with backpacks full of gear for you to bring, including the personalized stuffed animal and blankets that you got.
Great.
Since it's been a while, I can describe the other ones as well. You have Officer Patty, who is a beast. She's a bit of a Clydesdale horse in her. You have Matthew, the librarian, whose skin is covered in this kind of papery writing that looks like he's just been plastered over with half-transparent books from old texts. Mrs. Blackbird, she has these feather-like shapes of her hair, got yellow eyes, kind of a beakish face. And then, of course, you have Amanda, who looks remarkably similar to the lady that you encountered in Arcadia, or the Hedge, except she's got a bit more of a red and white striped outfit look to her, and some green in there. And then there was... No, those were the ones who were present. Matthew kind of looks at you. Right, so you found another person escaping from Arcadia then?
Yeah, a little stowaway.
Well, that's a relief. I'm glad you were able to bring someone back with you. Were they kept hostage? Did you break any laws or rules when you freed her? It's her, right? And she kind of nods here.
She freed herself.
Oh, well, then that's even more of a relief. There won't be any traces leading back to you. I assume you made it out safe. No one spotted you. No one cornered you. Did you find the crown as well?
Yes.
It's not so much a crown anymore, though.
I show him my hood. I put the crown in my hood as we were running away, and this happened. I take off my hoodie and I give it to him.
That is certainly something I wasn't aware that it could do, but It's the same item then, correct? Just changing its shape.
Yeah, look, same on the top. See?
He kind of takes it and looks it over. Well, I might even be able to take the crown out of it later, I suppose. This is interesting, though. I wasn't aware of this property of it. Did you ever try wearing it?
No.
Well, that I suppose that's for the best. You all made it out safe, then? Was it difficult?
Not once we lit the
Things-
whole place on fire.
You what? Says Mrs. Blackbird, looking over at you.
Yeah.
There may have been a small fire that
Wait,
small's an
turned into a
understatement.
big fire.
What did you set on fire? What exactly did you set on fire?
We
Everything.
didn't set anything on fire.
Then who started the fire?
Billy Joel.
We
I appreciate the reference, but who was it?
I don't remember who started the fire. This is out of character. I don't remember who started.
we tipped over
Nate did.
a
Of
lamb
course he did.
By
That's right.
accident, of course.
by accident, and I think, and I saw a spirit jump out, and I believe this is it. I lift the hand.
Can I just... I do believe that Nate took a critical failure, correct? At
Yes.
that time. That is
Yes,
why the
to
fire
turn.
started.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's out of the way. She, Mrs. Blackbird looks
Trying to cover for you, Nate.
She looks genuinely upset. She's like, "You started a fire in the Goblin Market. Are you
To be
aware?
fair, I didn't start it.
Then who started it?" "I did," says Flicker, kind of steps forward, puffing up her chest like, "I started the fire. They let me out."
Okay, maybe we did let her out. I wasn't aware of that.
I was the one who
Oh.
burned the Goblin Market down. I wanted to see if I
And-
could.
And the bridge, apparently.
Well, I didn't mean to burn that down. I'm sorry.
Accidents happen.
That place sucked. Burn it.
To be fair, just as we were leaving, after this fire was kind of like a blessing, because all of the people started running away from the fire, just as, the regular goblins and like servants of the you-know-what that suck started pouring in order to eat everyone. So that
They
was fun.
what?
So I think the fire actually did a good thing.
They did what now?
There were people, they were tearing flesh apart and eating people like us. They called it a something, but it was something dumb and I forgot
A revelry.
that
Yeah,
thing.
something like that.
Wait, you arrived there during a revelry?
A
It
little
was a
bit
birthday
before.
party for one of the gentry.
That is very unfortunate. That only happens
This-
very
That's
rarely.
why they stole the crown. It was a present.
To whom? Well, no, don't say their name.
To
Well,
the
one of-
person,
I'm-
to
Yes.
the one that kept us, and I point to everyone, but to who was it? There wasn't Lars wasn't, and
And Silas wasn't.
And Silas.
Fallon wasn't. It kept us.
Well, I'm relieved to hear you made it out alive. Then that sounds was worst of luck, essentially, arriving at a revelry. I was not aware that was going to happen. I should have probably done more research before. But you got the crown. You came up. You made it out alive. That is much better than I could have hoped.
Who's gonna
Much
Tell him.
better? Silas asks.
Were you
Tell him about the
expecting? Hold on. Were you expecting us not to come back? Is that why you sent us?
Of course I expect you to come back. Given the circumstances and a revelry, had I known, I would never have sent you.
All right. Sorry, it's been a difficult couple of tens of minutes. Felt like much longer.
I was not even... How long were you in there?
Few hours, I think.
Well, that makes sense. Time works differently when you're in the hedge. And you made it out safe. Did anyone know you? Did you get recognized? Yes, Nova?
She was there, and she saw us. We almost
Wait,
didn't
who
make it
saw
out.
you? Mrs. Blackbird speaks up again. Who was there? Your keeper. Your keeper saw you.
Her. Yeah.
Oh, God. You didn't Did you tell them about us?
She told us about you.
What?
Seem to have a history or something together. I look at Jonas.
What?
It said that it would come here in 13 days. And I don't know, give back for what we did, or it wasn't clear exactly why.
Coming back for something.
Wait, why would she come back here if you were in there?
She seemed to know who you were. She seemed to know what Littlebrook was.
She mentioned Littlebrook?
Yes, she got us from Littlebrook.
Yes, I suppose
not
that's
surprised that-
true. 13 days. She's gonna come here in 13 days?
So we need to
Yes.
prepare.
Oh my God.
You wouldn't know of like any reason that she particularly wanted to come
No,
back
I don't
here?
know of any reason why she would want to come here. 13 days, is
Can-
that's the next full moon, yes.
Yep.
Well, we
I
need to
want to
put the
see
barrier
if
up. Yeah.
I can like read something. Like they seem nervous, that's fair, but is there something that like some gazes between them that they're hiding something or like that?
You can certainly roll. Let me see here what you got. I
like to roll
believe
too. I have empathy with lies.
Yeah, empathy.
Wits empathy,
Wits
probably?
empathy. Yeah. Both of you can
I
roll.
have specialization hidden intentions. Can I use for that?
That's a little. Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and Nova can roll as well. Oh, we got 2.
I'm not even gonna try.
No successes.
No successes. It's hard to tell. There might be some kind of exchange of glances there. There might not be. They certainly are upset, all of them. Matthew looks very troubled, like he's thinking very deeply. You have Mrs. Blackbird looks shocked. She's kind of slowly holding, like she's got one hand on her belly and she's looking a little bit faint. Amanda is freaking out, like she's leaning against the car with like her face half buried in her hands. Jim doesn't look too bothered, but you're not entirely sure if he gets what's going on. And Patty has kind of got her one hand on her holster, like, well, we got to do something. We got to put up the wall. Then we gotta figure out the mirror, and we gotta do the contract again. It'll be fine. 13 days should be fine to go get the lead, right? Right, Matthew? It should be fine, right?
Silas shares a long look with Jim, measuring the other ogre's stance. What other people might think, to him anyways, is slowness or ignorance. He recognizes as more the sureness of Earth, the refusal to be moved by the tides that command everyone else.
Yeah, Jim, you can tell he is ready for whatever's coming. He's just accepted this is going to happen, and he'll take it head on. And he kind of gives you a slow nod as you meet his eyes. He's like, Matthew just looks up at Patty, goes, "Well, I'm not quite sure. 13 days should be enough. We only need the mirror, and we have been able to figure out where any of us can get the lead. And honestly, I really don't think it's up to you anymore. I believe it's our turn to do the work. So we were discussing that perhaps I and Amanda and Jim and Patty can head off into the hedge to a small town called... What was it called again? It was called... Bursfleisch, I believe it was called. It's a small village at the edge of the hedge, opposite direction of the Goblin Market. We will head in there. We will receive the lead that we need to repair the mirror, and we will come back here. That was the plan we were discussing when you returned to Littlebrook.
Oh, Nova wants to take a second to kind of go over to Amanda and just be like, "Can we talk before you go?
Yeah, sure. Thanks,
Just
Nadine.
find me before you go, okay?
Yeah, I'll find you. Mrs. Blackbird kind of looks you over and goes, "Okay, Wenceslas would like to meet you when you can. He's awake now, and he's got some things he wants to tell you. We need to shore up our defenses. We need to prepare ourselves. 13 days means she's going to come here in 13 days, but that doesn't mean that others won't be coming here before that. And obviously, I can't do much right now the way I am, but I will help out. But we need to make sure that we're ready for when she comes, if she comes. I don't know. I hope we'll be able to finish the contract, but planning is everything. That's what they say. A plan is nothing, but planning is everything, I think it's called."
Okay, how about we start here? I look at Flicker and I go like, "What do you want to do? Do you want to stay with us or do you want to go back?"
Why would I want to go? Are you going to send me back? I don't want to go back.
No, I'm asking you.
Why would you ask me that?
Because now you know the situation. Stuff's gonna come after us. We're probably gonna have to fight.
I don't have anywhere else to go.
Okay, then you can stay here. I'm asking. You don't gotta panic.
Some strands of grass are just lighting on fire near her, but it's not, on the level where there would be a forest fire. Just kind of
Look at
blackening.
Me. Don't do that and look at me. It's fine. I just asked. I'm asking because it's important to know what you think. Okay?
Okay.
All
I want
right.
to stay here. I don't want to go anywhere.
Okay, that's a good starting point.
We just didn't want to volunteer you for something.
Yep.
Thank you. I mean, if you... I don't know. Maybe I should go with them. I don't know. I don't want to make decisions. I haven't had to make decisions in a really long time.
Then take it easy, because you're going to slowly probably remember things as you go, hopefully. If you don't, that's fine. You'll make new memories. It's not like it's the end of the world. But if you remember things, you can tell us, and then we can try to figure out where you came from and what's your past, and maybe if that's something that you want to find or go towards later on. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. What about, what do you want us to do now? I look at Matthew.
Relax. I want you to take some time off. I want you to center yourself. I want you to relax. You've done so much for us already. There's nothing more we can ask of you right now. We will handle the mirror.
Matthew, I'm after what happened in there, I'm interested in one of these courts.
Oh.
Maybe you could help me with that if there's time.
I believe we could do that. I believe so. I would. He kind of looks over at Mrs. Blackbird and goes, time is of the essence. Do you think that Wenceslas might be able to? And she nods. Yes, he can do the ritual. And he nods. Wenceslas will handle it. To be fair, he was the one who always handled it before everything. So when you meet him, he has ways of doing it much more efficient than I. And
is he knowledgeable in the courts? Because I might need some. I would like some counseling, but I understand
I would say he's quite familiar with all four of them. Yes, he would be able to help you.
Thank you, Matthew.
Of course, thank you. Thank you all for the work you've done. We've asked so much of you. It's time we give something back. And even considering what Mrs. Blackbird has said, keep in mind that you're still healing. You're still recovering from your ordeal, from your own harrowing experience. Don't push yourselves.
Right, let's go to Wenceslas then.
That would be wise.
I'll drive you. Oh, actually, maybe I shouldn't. Mrs. Blackbird kind of looks down at her stomach. Did you come here in a car?
You cut off, Chris.
Oh, sorry. She kind of looks you over. Did you come here in a car?
Yes.
All right. How about we meet up at the Matthew, can you drop me off at the well, you know, the grove? And he nods, and she goes to the car. Matthew kind of looks at you and says, or if you... Actually, Patty is the one driving, of course. Patty goes, if you go to the, to the fancy neighborhood, we'll drop Mrs. Blackbird off over there, and you guys can go see Wenceslas.
So you want us to drive after you, behind you?
Yeah, we'll meet up at the main road down at the mill. And you can follow our car after that.
Sounds good.
Before we go, I Nova makes a little motion to Amanda that, like, we're gonna talk.
She nods. She kind of points to her phone, like, is this okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she kind of takes her phone out and sends a text right away, like, sorry, it's easier to talk like this.
Okay, so I think Nova might text a little while they're in the car.
Yeah. So what are you texting to her?
She's looking around because she's like, okay, Amanda. So of anybody, I trust you, and other stuff happened that we didn't say, and I need to know, can I trust you? Because I gotta ask you about stuff before we do anything.
I'll tell you everything I can.
Okay. Do you know about a baby? ?
Mrs. Blackbird's ?
That one that kept us. She says that baby is hers. That's what she's coming for.
I don't know anything about that. Sorry.
Is that truthful? Because I need to trust you.
She interrupts. You should ask Inkwell about it.
Okay. Don't tell anybody else I was asking about that, Amanda. Okay.
I promise.
Okay.
You should really check with Inkwell.
He goes, okay. Gotta be safe, Amanda.
You too.
Okay.
He works at the Littlebrook Herald. She types out, which obviously you knew, but she types that out anyway.
Okay. So are we all in the car right now? Like in the
Yeah.
the van?
Yeah, you're all in the van
Okay.
again. Kinda
So hey everybody,
spaced out.
yeah, I kind of made an executive decision, and I asked Amanda about the baby because I trust her more than anybody else. And she says we have to ask Inkwell.
Did you warn her not to tell anybody?
Yes,
Okay.
of course
Isn't
I did. I take this
Inkwell-
very seriously.
And she wants us to talk to the reporter.
He would know stuff, and yeah, he's sleazy enough to know stuff that other people don't or won't talk about. We had to start somewhere. Because I can't tell. I was trying to tell, but I can't tell if they really don't know or not. I can't. They might not know if they know.
She knows. She knows her baby is wanted by this thing. There's no way.
Well, now then we know that they won't tell us, and we got to start with our own investigation.
At the end of the day, like, I don't want to sit around and wait for them to finish their journey in Arcadia or whatever. I'd rather start making a plan.
Yeah. So we'll talk to Inkwell, and we'll get the information.
Yep.
But I just wanted to tell you, so I told you.
Thank you.
Where are we heading now?
We're driving after them.
Wenceslaus, right?
We're going to
Yes.
go see Wenceslaus. The
We'll just
baby
keep this
daddy.
between us.
You hold on. Oh, sorry. Keep talking. Sorry, my bad.
I turn to Flicker and I go like, shh.
What?
This we don't talk about this, all right?
You didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Exactly.
That's all right. It's okay.
She kinda-
Watch her tide.
That sounds really creepy.
Oh, good. I wanted to sound very intimidating.
I'm not scared of you, you bug.
Stupid Ember.
Maybe if I start a fire, you fly into it.
Nah, I fly away. I'd
Okay,
be over
guys.
fire. You can't reach me.
Oh yeah? And she kind of just gets out of the seat and there's fire in her hand right away.
Hey,
Hey,
Sit
not in
down.
the car.
Let me at her. She's picking a fight with me.
Nate,
Not
give me a
in the
gun.
car.
No. Look,
Make me come
I
back.
may be. You know,
It's a
I
sauna
may
in
be the
here right
last
now.
person you'd want to have a gun, but Nova, you are the even more last person.
Thank you. I don't know how to take that. Ugh.
In short, you're not getting a gun.
Titus holding Flicker back, and it's a literal sauna in the car right now. There's just steam everywhere.
sit down.
I will pull this car over and make you walk.
She's-
No, I
she's-
feel
she's
like
just,
that'd be last person because let's face it, with a gun, I'd probably do more deliberate damage if I threw it at them. Actually, that would really work for me.
Nate, get us all guns.
No.
All right, Nova's quiet for the rest of the trip. Sulking.
So you head to the gated community, the Arvidsson area, the old kind of estates that were built for the logging barons and the mining barons who used to live here a long time ago. And some of their families are still living here. There's a couple of new buildings. There's some old ones. Jonas and Tide, you recognize, of course, one of the buildings where Jonas's fetch is living, or your old home. But you're driving up to one of the more modest buildings of this place, and it is indeed the residence of Mrs. Blackbird, or, well, that's not her real name, but it is their residence nonetheless. And you see that it is a 2-story building. It has a very beautifully tended garden, and quite a lot of little birdhouses, like a lot of small trees with birdhouses in them, and there's a bale of hay that's out so some of the smaller birds can feed from it. And you also notice that there is a veranda on which there is a hospital-like bed, or a bed from a hospital, with a small heater unit next to it, and there is a person lying in the bed.
Just a quick add-on. Before we get there, as we drive past Titan, the old Titan, Jonas and Tide's house, Tide just kind of like leans over to the window and like just flips up the middle finger, which might be with their camera, and like just in case the fetch would look out, probably wouldn't be able to see it, but it's just for personal satisfaction. Okay.
They're flipping off the fetch?
They're flipping off the house in general.
All right. The fetch is not standing by the window, but I'm sure that
That's
somewhere
fine.
it can sense this insult to itself.
A momentary hurt from out of nowhere.
No.
Oh,
Take me.
this presence I haven't felt since last time someone flipped me off. Anyway, you arrive to the building, you step out, and you meet up with Mrs. Blackbird, who kind of goes, all right, he's resting right now, but he's recovered a lot since you helped save him. And again, I cannot stress how thankful I am that you did. He's told me some of the things he's experienced. He doesn't regret it, but I feel like it was maybe a bad decision to put him there. But he said he wanted to talk to all of you.
Are you going to do it again?
I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, if she comes back, if they come back, you've seen it yourself, we're not protected anymore, and I don't know, maybe I should do it. Matthew was saying he should, but he shouldn't. He's too important to this town. I feel like once I've had my baby, I'll do it. Wenceslas already did his turn, I guess.
You're going to have your baby? When?
Well, I actually went for a checkup a couple of days ago, and doctor said she's due in maybe a week or two. They couldn't be more clear. We'd had to go to Minneapolis to go to a bigger hospital to check it out.
I thought we couldn't have babies. This is... Changeling
It's,
can have babies?
I suppose.
Alright.
But you should really talk to him right now. He's,
Isn't he the father?
yes, he is.
So if you were to recreate the contract, you would volunteer to be the one and leave him to raise your child?
I couldn't ask anyone else to do it.
Well, let's see if we can find something else that maybe we could do, or is the contract the only way? But we gotta keep you out of harm's
Believe me, if
way.
there was another way, I would try it.
We can just kill her. We killed the dragon.
It's not the same thing, Tide.
Well, how do you kill one of them?
If I knew
wanna
that,
know.
believe me, things would be very different.
Well, looks like I have a lot to read then when I go back to the library. We can go.
And you approach this hospital bed, and you see that the man you rescued a week ago is lying there. He has an IV drip in his arm and a heart rate monitor and things like that. Like, she's been able to have it delivered to their home. And he's in a very bad state, still very, very thin. But you can tell, especially in the daylight right now, that he was once a very beautiful man. His long kind of silvery hair is very thin, brittle right now. Some locks of it has fallen out, but his gaunt face reveals like he has high cheekbones and thin lips, and he is resting with his hands on his chest, and he has a little heart rate monitor on one of his fingers, and he kind of sits up just very weakly and looks over at you and blinks a few times and oh, my saviors, thank you for coming. I'm glad you could make it here.
I'm glad to see you up and about. Well, not up and about, but you know,
Talking.
alive.
Yeah, I suppose it would take more than that to kill me. And Mrs. Blackbird heads over and she just kind of holds him up and gives him something to drink. It's all right. It's all right. I wanted to ask you, how's the welcoming committee been so far?
It's been good. They've been nice to us.
They've been welcoming. Thank you.
I'm
Nova's
glad.
staying towards the back a little and being quiet.
I was told you went into the hedge to fetch the crown.
We did, and we got it.
Inkwell should have protected it. He promised he would.
Well, we got it back. Don't worry about it.
Mistakes happen.
Mistakes happen. It's true. You... We want to hear your opinion on what to do. We need to vote on the contract.
Noah peeks around. You said it wasn't worth it. We took you out. You said it wasn't worth it. What do you mean by that? Looks back in.
I'm sure you've seen it, that time is moving again. And people are healing for the first time in 17 years. But we're between a rock and a hard place.
Well, it seems like we don't have much of a choice this time. Someone is coming here soon. And if it does, I think that time slowing down might be least of our worries in some way. But I get what you're saying. It's a sacrifice that someone needs to make. And in the end, all of us need to make, it sounds like, as well.
We will have a vote when we have all the 4 artifacts, but it's important that you know the costs of the contract. It was painful for me. And I knew it would be, but Littlebrook will not change, for better or worse, if this contract is filled. And it's only a matter of time before whoever fills it dies.
How long was it for you?
17 years. I'm not sure I would have survived another year.
17 years here. How long was it for you?
It was an eternity. I'm actually glad you came when you did. You allowed me to see my wife again, and the city.
Pardon me, Mr. Wenceslas, but I notice you're really hurt. I know a contract that would allow me to heal you, if that's how it works.
Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I'm getting better. It's fine. You could try if you want, but this is really old magic. I don't know if it will work. It just occurred to me. I've been told your names, but you must be Silas, correct?
Yes, I am.
Ooh, I believe we lost Lars. He must have gone to check on his car. Tide. Nova.
Yeah, that's me.
He kind of looks at Jacob Jonas, sorry. Jacob. He looks at Jonas for a little bit and goes, I suppose you're Jonas.
I am.
And then that must mean that you're Nate. But there's another one of
Yep.
you. I'm Flicker. I'm new in town. She kind of tries to look big. Well, welcome to Littlebrook, Flicker. I can't do much from this bed, but I wanted to tell you that there are certain means that I can provide for us, means that I have gathered enough glamour to be able to do.
Such as?
I can find trods. Are you aware of what those are?
No.
No.
They are the places where the veil is thin, where glamour seeps through, where they can enter. I can paint them. I can draw pictures of where they are. I can't tell you exactly where, but if we are to protect our village, we will need to find some way to guard these trods. I have managed to produce one painting so far. It took the better half of a day, but can you bring it to them? He looks over at Mrs. Blackbird and she kind of looks at him like, are you sure? Madeline, it's fine. You bring it to them. And she goes into the kitchen of the apartment, and as soon as she leaves, he looks at you and whispers, "They went into the hedge, correct?"
They're going to, if they haven't already.
Who went?
Was it Matthew, Patty? I think that's it, right?
Amanda, I think too.
Oh, and
Jim,
Amanda.
perhaps?
Matthew, Patty, Amanda, and Jacob. Jonas. I don't know why I keep saying Jacob. Jonas. What did you say?
Did Jim join as well? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Jim.
Jim, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jim went with them too, yeah.
I see. You're aware that I was replaced with my fetch for 17 years.
Yes. I saw a picture of your fetch.
You need to find it and destroy it. Madeline won't do it.
The fetch.
Yes. Please, I can't tell you any more than that right now. The painting I've drawn shows you where it is.
Where the fetch is?
Yes. Madeline, give them the painting. It's fine. She kind of looks it over. It's just a body of water. And she shakes it. It's close by. I know it is. Give it to them. And she hands you over a painting. And indeed, it is a huge body of water. And you can barely make out forest that's at the end of it. And I do believe I would like everyone to roll a wits. I guess we can say investigation to see if you can recognize where this is.
No idea.
Water. We got 1 from Lars. How many from Nova? 3, okay. From Nate?
Having trouble with. Where the fuck is my?
That's
I
right.
put my phone down somewhere, and now.
That happens. No worries. How
Do
many?
you want me to roll for
Yeah,
you?
Silas, how many did you get?
Here.
0. And Jonas, how much did you get?
I got 3.
3.
Nate, do you want me to roll for you?
It's intelligence investigation.
Yep. No, wits investigation.
Wits investigation. Okay, that's slightly better. That is that's 3 dice.
All right. Can't get 3 successes. No, you can even get more, I believe. Can you? Yeah.
Okay, I got my actual dice out, so we're good. What do we get? All right, I rolled 2 successes.
2 successes. That's unfortunately not enough, but 3 successes is, and both Nova and Jonas, you recognize, Nova especially considering you were not too long ago there, if not in the body, in the spirit. It is the view from the pontoon, I guess you'd call it, out on the water of the Lake of White Stag National Park.
Just say, Jonas, you recognize that too?
Yeah, I do. I haven't been there in a while.
I have and have not been there recently. But the lake probably hasn't moved, right?
It probably hasn't. No. Okay. So, what, Wenceslaw? You wanted to go there and find your fetch and destroy it?
He kind of looks at you. Mrs. Blackbird looks completely shocked.
He wants us to go there and find the way into the hedge. It was your fetch that you wanted to look for. Yeah. No, completely different.
Roll manipulation subterfuge.
God.
Nice try.
So I have 1 in manipulation and 0 in subterfuge, which means I have 0 dice.
Is there any way to help?
I totally misread what happened.
If you completely misread the situation, we can do
I
a
think you
mulligan on
did.
that. Yeah, because I feel like that's such a thing that Jonas would not just blurt that out. So I feel like that's
No,
fine.
was-
We'll do a mulligan on that. Don't worry about it.
Little elbow.
If everyone's okay with that, like.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want us to go there and nothing. Sorry. And
And check
if it's
for
okay
the
with you.
veil. Yeah, check for this thing. What did you say it was called? The
Trod.
for the trod.
trod.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. The trod is what I want you to go look at, which is exactly what Jonas was asking me about.
And you want us just to guard it?
At the moment, we need to ensure that they're safe, that we have some way of keeping our eyes on if something passes through them.
Okay.
I will try to. I will try to paint more of them when I have the energy, but it is a lot of work to do just one of these.
I have a question that's not related to anything. Well, it is related to you. Did you just get sealed away and, like, waste away physically, or did you age? Are you dying because of old age?
No, I don't feel very old. Well, I just
You
believe.
sound it and you look it. No offense.
Well, I've lost a few pounds, I guess. I've been in better shape, but don't think I'm very old physically.
Okay. I'm asking.
I don't
It's
think I'll
important to
ever
know
be.
if you're gonna
I
die.
don't think I'll ever be as pretty as I used to. I'm sorry, Madeline. And she kind of goes, Shh, "Shut up. That's not why I married you. You know it. You know that."
Jonas
An elbow to
says,
tide now.
I have a horrible question, one that I almost dare not ask, but I'll do it anyway because of the direness of the situation. Does the person in the contract need to be voluntary?
No, they don't.
Are
too
you
bad.
saying we could?
I'm not saying anything. I just want to know what we can do, even if we shouldn't do it.
Could we seal her in there?
I'm really not sure if you could. It'd be extremely dangerous.
Can you look into that while we're away? Not you in particular, but one of you, whoever.
We are now, as I understand it, we are now creatures partly of this other world. Is the things called fetches? They are infused with the same weird powers. Could we use? Could one of those be used?
A fetch only has a little bit of your soul in it. It would not be quite as efficient as an actual soul would be. I suppose if you were able
all
to.
the fetches.
I suppose if you were able to capture one of them, potentially it could work. I'm not quite sure, but I can try to look into it. It was Matthew's discovery. He would know more about it.
We also met some kind of lesser creatures or something when we were at the market, like not truly the gods that the hobgoblins. Sure. Would they suffice? One of those?
They're not actually living creatures. They are created from thoughts and glamour.
And even worse, a regular human, no connection to.
It would possibly work, but I fear they would burn out sooner than I did. I would have.
Yeah. Let's stop this train of conversation here. I don't like where our minds or my mind is heading with this. Should should we get going? Look at this trod.
Yeah, let's go.
One more question though. Sorry, I haven't. Some of us here has sworn ourselves to one of the courts of the seasons. I have not, but after our visit in the markets and the hedge, I started to feel that that might be relevant and safe for what is coming. And Matthew said that you could assist with that.
Yes, I certainly can. I would need my paints, but
We don't need to do it right now if we have more pressing matters, but I would like to do it before it plans to arrive.
meet me. Meet me here tomorrow morning, and we will see to it.
I will.
All right. I must apologize, but
We should let you
I'm a
rest.
little exhausted.
It's okay. We'll go there.
Yeah, get some rest.
See you tomorrow.
Of course.
Yeah.
And if you can, you should check in on our old friend Inkwell and see if he's doing all right.
We can do that for you.
Check the trod. Wink. Wink. And Julie's.
Madeline kind of gives you a look like, you have, okay.
Okay. Inkwell, then Trod, or Trod and then Inkwell. Let's go.
Let's do the. Well, I don't know. Let's go.
Jonas leaves.
All right. You all head back to the Beetle, which is humming happily as you enter into it once again.
Okay, should we go to Inkwell first, and then we see what he knows, and then we leave for the Trod, and on the way we can maybe talk amongst ourselves for our next step.
Yeah, let's hit Inkwell since he's here in town.
Yeah.
We should warm up before a murder.
I don't want to be a part of that.
It's not alive, it's not murder.
I thought we'd just ask Nate.
We saw how well it went last time I tried.
Well, you have practice now. Yeah, we can talk about this later, I guess.
Sure.
Let's just make quick work of this.
So you head over to the small office of the Littlebrook Herald, which is honestly a copy shop. I guess, would you call that a copy shop? The places where they lets you print out stuff and...
Oh, yeah.
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 It's that, and on the upper floor is a small office, so that's essentially the Littlebrook Herald. So most of the time the printers are being used to print flyers for birthday parties or missing cat posters, things like that, or printing out homework. But right now the store is closed. There's a closed sign in front of the turn.
Did he go too?
Pump, 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 pump.
There is no response.
Okay, I guess we'll come back.
Or
Inkwell!
Or we can do what we always do and completely ignore the close sign.
We have a scoop for you! Boom, 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 boom.
I think he might have gone into the hedge with him.
Shit.
So,
I'll just look in a window just real quick, see if, because everyone seems to be like, what's going on with him? So I'm gonna just look into a window if I see anything suspicious.
You look inside and you see that things have been taken out for the day. Like there's papers lying around. There is something that's been printed out in one of the presses that's just lying at the when it's finished. It looks like someone kind of closed the place in a hurry.
Okay. Well, his doesn't seem to be here. Let's go to that trot then.
Why don't we go in and look? Is there any way to go in? Is there like a window that's open? Is there a back door that we can try? There might be stuff that, he doesn't want to tell us.
I guess you have a point.
He's a sneaky guy.
Since I don't have any interest in
be-
going up and destroying a fetch, maybe I can waste some of my glamour on this, and just give me a minute. And Jonas go to the door and just relaxes a bit. Looks like nothing is going on, like nothing in particular is going on, and then just reaches for the door handle, and I use the contract. Hostile takeover.
All right. And you don't have a loophole now, correct?
No, I need to own something of that. Maybe if there's something outside that I can take, but I guess there's...
No, there's really nothing that you can guarantee that he owns right now. I believe you'd have to
No.
know that he owns it. And no,
yeah.
so you'd have to spend the glamour.
I'm prepared to spend the glamour, yeah.
Okie doke.
Could you return? Is it like you return of something, then you can get in for free without the loophole, or what?
No, you have to own something of theirs.
Yeah,
To the owner of the place.
yeah.
Since he prints the newspaper, would a copy of the newspaper count?
No, I wouldn't. I think he needs to like something of his that he owns.
Be more personal than that.
I would guess so. It seems like the flavor of it.
You can just grab something from his office, and then you'll have something for next time.
I'll have something for next time. Great.
Yeah,
But,
that's right.
I'll-
Break in, steal something, and then you can steal stuff later.
Perfect.
Okay.
You're bad influence.
It's okay. It's for a good cause. If it's for a good cause, then
Flicker
you
is
do it.
kind of skipping from foot to foot. Like, can we please go inside now?
Does the door open? And...
Yes, it opens up
Yep.
fine. It's you're the king of this castle right now. It's all yours.
Yeah. I go in and like just start looking through. Looking through stuff. See if I can find something interesting regarding what has been going on here in the city. Like mostly not so much about the newspaper stuff, but more maybe personal notes or letters, and if his computer is on.
This
maybe
is
I can
on the
check
bottom
them.
floor. There's only like the guest computers that you can use to log in and upload whatever file you want to print. This is all kind of complicated for you because it's been a while since you used computers, although you've gotten more familiar with it. But some of the stuff is actually turned on still. Like it hasn't been shut off for the day.
I'll go on the computers and see if I can like go on emails. Maybe he has Outlook, Hotmail.
You can access the internet, but not on his computer. His computer is not here. There's only guest computers. On the upper floor is the small office where he would operate out of as the newspaper editor, and the
Yeah, it's a top office primarily. I'm trying to get into.
Yeah. Okay. So, hold on. I have a cat stepping on my keyboard.
Hello,
I
cat.
can see that.
The butt is in the camera.
Yeah. Yep.
Big time.
Yeah, he's here. He's just checking things out. Oh, he's smelling the treat bag. Okay, there we go. Sorry
We've
for
been
that.
caught by the cat.
Yeah.
Run.
So you open the door leading up to the office, and it's kind of like a very narrow staircase. It's you wouldn't be able to fit two people next to each other. Oh, here you go. And it goes up about 6 feet, and then it's a sharp turn, and then it goes up again another 6-ish feet to the upper floor.
I'm so tired apparently or something because I thought it was up there. I looked into a window, but it's fine. I'll go up the
Yeah,
stairs and try to get
it's
into
fine. You go up the stairs. Is anyone else going after you, or is it just you?
I'll go.
Okay.
Nova's
Did
going.
he like open the door, or I thought he
He
just?
opened the outside door. You can't eat the dice.
Oh. Yeah. Then
Sorry.
everybody goes inside.
Yeah. Everyone can be inside the copy shop. Yeah, that sounds wrong, but I guess that's what you call it, the copy shop. But
It worked.
Jonas and Nova are continuing upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and I can get this contract to more people. So 2 other peoples can benefit from it. So I give it to Lars and Tide.
Okay. As you start heading up the stairwell, there is a very strong smell of what is that? It's kind of bitter. Is that almond? Yeah, it kind of smells like almonds when you go upstairs. And as you get to the door, you can see the light is turned out upstairs.
I'll open that door and go in.
It's unlocked, and you enter into a small office with a desk with the usual ink mat on it, some copies of the Littlebrook Herald. There's some old issues when it was actually a paper on the wall, like framed. There's some photos of old editors-in-chief, things like that. And there is also a body slumped against a desk.
Shit. The almond cyanide. Oh, fuck. We need to get him.
You would think it would be cyanide. Well, maybe you wouldn't. I don't know if your character would be familiar with that. But that's probably not what killed this body. You can tell that it's Inkwell from the clothes. Not so much from the head, which is no longer there.
Jonas?
Yes.
I mean,
Call 911 or what?
Well, I'm
What
gonna
do
go
we do?
down and tell them first. I'm gonna go down and tell everybody else first.
There
so
is-
Nova kind of goes
Yes.
down.
Surprisingly, no blood on the desk at all. There's just a body with a missing head.
So Nova will kind of go downstairs and be like, okay, so there's kind of a situation. Good news is we found Inkwell, but bad news is not all of him.
What?
So there's no blood? Wait.
Yeah,
Then
so
he
she just
wasn't
like
killed?
explains the scene. Like he's like, I think he's dead because there's no head, but there's also no blood. So that's the news.
Well, it means he wasn't killed here then. If there's no blood.
I think we
He's
have
killed
to
somewhere
maybe
else. And
investigate.
Yeah, I think we need to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Who's good at that?
I would
Are we
like...
sure that's even Inkwell? Or
His
could it be
clothes?
something else?
We should
Well,
check.
didn't-
We should look at him.
Didn't
pulled from the
Inkwell
stick.
have? He had like words all over his skin, right?
Right.
No, that's
but-
Matthew. Inkwell was
Matthew.
a slimy, ink-sweating little man wearing suspenders and a sweaty shirt, like he was stained with dark blue ink spots. I'm going to roll clarity for Nova and Jonas. Jonas, this is not a very nice sight, and
No, it's not.
at this shock, you receive 1 point of clarity damage. Nova, you do surprisingly well, probably because you immediately turn around and head down the stairs, but you barely catch sight of the body in question.
So without the head, we need to look closer to make sure that it is who we think it is. But we probably shouldn't touch the body if possible.
Absolutely
And
agree.
And then we should get the hell out of here.
Should we call? Jonas goes out of the room as well. Should we call Miss Blackbird? Let her know about this.
No, because what would we like? Why were we going here when we were going to go to the place?
Wenceslaus told us to go here and check up on him.
Check on him.
That's
What if-
true. That's true.
What if we just take a second to look through his files, like all that paper, and then call? Like, just so we know about, like, the baby. Like,
What's
that's Amanda
going
told
on?
us to go here. Give me a
Fine,
second.
fine.
I want to look
Okay.
through this stuff.
I'll-
And she
I'll-
kind of...
You want to
I'll-
go out, Jonas?
Tide,
No, I'll help
Yeah?
you look.
Tide, can you take
Yeah.
care of Flicker?
Yeah.
What's going on?
We're
She
gonna
doesn't
stand
need
guard,
to.
okay? You and I.
Okay.
Okay, come out.
She follows you out.
We should do this quick, Jonas. Just to get if there's anything here. Just
Yeah.
any info before we call anybody
And
else.
and tell Amanda then that don't frame us for this.
I'll tell her
No,
when
not
we're done.
Amanda. They're pretty. Yeah. Jonas will start looking through it, but as I said before, I'll start looking for like personal stuff. Maybe go through his computer or like notes in his drawers or anything, just to find stuff that relates to
There's
thinking business. More or less.
there's a laptop on the floor, but it has been broken into 2 pieces, like completely cracked.
Lars will grab that.
All right.
Nova's looking for any paper, like loose paper on a desk or in any drawer.
Roll wits investigation for that. I think Jonas, you can roll that as well if you want.
Sure.
What was Silas doing during this?
I'm not getting involved because I don't have the capability to diagnose what's wrong with it, and I'm just on standby.
All right.
I have just letting you know, I have a specialization in investigation. Fey, does that count? And I also have the eye of the strange. Like
I would say in these occasions you would probably need to know it was Fey related to be able to use the specialization. So in this case it doesn't work because you have literally no idea who did this.
Exactly. But does eye of the strange, my spidey sense, does it tingle anyway?
I mean,
He was not there's nothing mystical about the way he was killed. It was like no magical weapon, nothing like that. Like someone removed his head. The weird thing is that there's no blood.
Yeah. I got 1 success.
Okay.
At 3
yeah.
for the investigation.
Jonas, you're a little bit shook by this entire chain of event. You're kind of freaking out a little bit, having a hard time breathing. This room smells not of blood, but overwhelmingly of almond, and it's kind of freaking you out. Nova, you power through, and you go through his papers, and you find actually a lot of letters addressed to Inkwell, and written by someone like a very flowery handwriting from the freehold of Minneapolis, it says on it.
She's gonna take those. She's not gonna worry about
Alright.
reading them right now. She just is gonna take those and kind of maybe stuff them somewhere, like
All right.
a pocket or the back, just to hide them from anyone else, not from people here.
All right.
And then, or should we call somebody now, or?
Yeah. Call Blackbird.
Yeah. Hey, Jonas, come on. She's gonna try
I'll
to
go.
guide him out of there. I'll take you to Tide. Come on. I think we're gonna leave the office and then
All
maybe
right.
call.
You head downstairs, and the smell kind of goes away a little bit, but it's gonna stick with you for a while, Jonas especially. Like it was as if you were just holding this bag of peeled almonds and just breathing heavily into it. And you come outside, and you're outside. It's sunny. Children are biking down the street. Some old ladies are standing next to each other, talking, like chatting away, gossiping about something. It's a perfectly normal day.
Are there any payphones nearby?
I would say yes, because of the events that kept things. I would say that in 2001 or 2002 there would have definitely been payphones still. So.
Okay, so Nova's gonna make sure everyone's out, and she's gonna go to a payphone.
All right.
She's gonna dial up 911.
No.
Oh.
Don't
Well-
call 911. Call the principal.
Okay, here. If she gives the phone, tell her, you do it.
Okay. Don't we have cell phones?
I thought if we say we're anonymous and we just heard a noise, that way it's not us, just in case.
Well, let's call the Blackbird and see what she and Wenceslas want us to do. Because if we call 911 with Penny in the hedge, they're going to send one of the real deputies. And we don't want that to happen.
She just hands you the phone and is like, do what you think you're supposed to do. That's okay.
Right? Am I wrong?
You're absolutely right. Call the principal. She'll know what to do probably.
Hey,
So
Jonas,
we will
you
call
want to
her.
sit down?
Yeah. I'm just gonna sit down a little while.
You call. It's okay. We'll be quiet.
And the number dials a couple of times, and finally she picks up. Hello?
Hey, it's your friends that went to check on your other friend.
It's a brief pause, and then she goes, "Oh, hello? Checking on who?"
We're checking on Quill.
Oh, yeah. What is he? Is he all right?
No,
What?
he's
What's wrong with him?
lost his tip.
What? He's on what?
He's gone.
What do you mean he's gone? He's left? He's left town?
No, he's lost his tip.
There's a long pause, and then when she speaks to you again, she speaks with a kind of a cold, detached voice you would imagine a principal using when speaking to someone who she's giving the instructions to, like very sternly. You should get away from there right now. I will find a way to let the others know. We'll fix this. Are you all right?
Yes. Is there anything that we should take? Anything that we should clean up before we leave?
His laptop? Do you have it?
Got that.
All right. He had some correspondence with the neighboring towns.
I think we have that as well.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Are you all right? Are you hurt? What happened to him?
He was gone when we got here.
Oh my god.
There's a scent of almonds. Does that mean anything?
Get away. Go leave that area right now.
Okay.
Hurry.
We'll be looking for the trod. We'll have our phones on.
All right. Be safe.
Thank you. And then I'll hang up. We have to go.
All right. Let's go.
Let's get out of town.
All right.
Who were actually up there looking at the body? That was only Jonas and Nova?
I believe so.
Okay.
I had gone in and grabbed the laptop, so I probably got a glimpse of the body.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for you as well. Although you
Just-
are a little bit more used to seeing dead bodies, or you've been at least more used to seeing dead bodies.
Yeah.
And you do take 1 point of clarity damage, unfortunately.
I should take a point of I should
Yep.
get a clarity roll too, because I would have at least noticed the body, but interact with it.
All right, you also went up there. I'll roll for you as well. That's a success. You don't. Strangely enough, you don't feel that scared by it. Maybe it's the fact that you've seen or done damage like this to others, and it's not a happy memory that wells up, but you kind of ground yourself in that and feel like, okay, you can process this later. Let's get it done. But Lars, for you, it's been so long since you came here. Like it not that long, but you felt like this couldn't happen in Littlebrook, and it's shaking you a little bit. You feel unsafe in this town, and that is a first.
Let's get out of here.
Question: What does clarity damage feels like?
It feels like I would say it feels like you're having your reality being. It's like the Truman Show. That would be a good, like, suddenly everything just feels kind of unreal. It's like you're disassociating a little bit. You're like, this is not actually happening. This is not, like, you feel like your reality is kind of shifting, that it's all like a stage play, or that it's not real.
Check.
Nova's in the back of the van. She starts reading those letters.
It is a lot of letters. Like, there's been correspondence going on for years, and most of it is kind of inane. It's a little boring, actually. It's mostly status updates, like, oh, how are you going, any sightings. There's a lot of mail from between 1990 something to 2001 and 2, and after that it's just yearly letters being sent. And interestingly enough, like the letters from between 2001 and 2018 all kind of look sort of the same. Like, they're so similar to each other that it feels almost like someone just copied the same mail letter and sent it out. It's kind of hard because you're in a car that's moving. I'm assuming it's moving right now, so it's not the ideal environment to sort of study these in depth. But it's not like there's spy letters that with secrets detailed in them, right? At least not that you can discern right away anyway. Might be some hidden language or something you don't know.
Like, boring. Oh, they're getting even more boring. She kind of crams them back in and puts them back in her pocket for now. Give them to somebody who could do more with it.
Well, what are they saying?
It's like blah blah blah. This is happening in the town. Blah blah. Have there been any sightings? And then these are like blah blah, exact same blah blah blah, exact same blah blah blah.
I would like Nova to roll a wits awareness, please. Wits investigation, sorry.
Oh, hey. Oh, okay. 4.
4. You realize now that you're going back through them again that there are probably either someone didn't send any letters around 2001, 2002, or, well, they sent like 2 letters during that time period, or there are letters missing from this pile.
Okay, so she'll go, oh, hey, when I'm going over time, there's letters missing. Some of these years aren't there.
Okay. Which ones?
She'll say the ones.
Yeah, it's roughly around the time. Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out this. Roughly around the time when the contract was made.
We'll bring this up or not. I'm gonna hold on to them, and then we can think about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I'll have them. You tell me when we need to give them to somebody.
I mean, listen, I am not making heads of tails of this, so probably someone else should tell you that. Just saying.
I'll wait for a thinker, and she kind of puts him away.
I'm not even mad about that.
No. She's like, no, both of
No, it's fine. You're fine. I know I have problems thinking. It's okay.
I don't think either. That's what I'm saying. I touched something with fire. I grabbed these letters from dead guy's office, and it didn't seem to affect me.
Fainted guy's office.
Yeah, so we'll work.
There was a
on
dead
this
guy
later.
in there?
Fainted. She just says that.
Yeah,
Right.
he fainted so hard. He was like a dead faint. And she tries to smile in the most convincing way.
She says that. It's a
Look.
slang from where we were taken.
I've seen dead people, okay?
You have?
Yeah. Look, I'm not some kind of baby. You don't have to protect me. I'm fine.
You see, the thing is, when we're kind of prancing around the topic, it's not that we're necessarily worried about you. I'm sure you can handle it. But in the instance that you can't handle it, then we all get burned, like literally.
Come on. And she doesn't actually get warm at this time. She's like forcing herself not to flare up. Look, whatever. I don't care. I'm just really tired.
You look tired. That's fine. You can nap if you want. Can you sleep in a car that's moving?
Yeah, sure. She kind of leans against the car window and just closes her eyes.
All right. Let's go. Let's get this done. Because
keep in mind, the trip to the White Stag National Forest Parks and Recreation area with the lake is maybe 2-3 hours by car, a little more maybe, one way.
Oh.
Maybe we should go tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. Let's just say that I'm not really in the mood of doing what we were asked right now.
Okay, how about we take the night? What time were you meeting him?
We didn't set a time. Maybe I'll go there. Be there at 9:10 or something, and then we can leave afterwards.
So we say leave around noon.
Sure, sounds good. And should we then try to just think of what, like everyone give it a hard think of what we are going to do with all this?
Yeah, we could
So we
try
can
Yeah,
try
thinking.
like sleep it over. I mean, I'm not probably going to think about it, but well, not hard
Where's-
anyway.
Where's she gonna stay?
She can come to the library. There's places since you guys left out. If you guys want to.
Okay, there's a lot of paper there.
That's true. But
Guys, it'll be fine. She won't burn it.
I mean, I won't be there, so that's not really my problem. I was just thinking about you.
who all is staying at the library? Just us three? Nate, her, and me?
And
Silas
me.
too, right?
Silas, you too?
And me, right?
I'm staying at the library.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought you were, weren't you?
I don't know who all is staying. I'm asking.
I have a place.
I'm not sure. I thought I had a place over at Jones Diner, or maybe I had an apartment. I'm not sure. We'll talk about it after the stream.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
okay.
I mean, we can all be in one space for now.
Oh yeah, you
Doesn't
did.
sound like a bad idea.
I'm gonna go to my place, but I'll meet you guys.
Be careful, Nova. We don't know what's doing this. Yeah.
Maybe we should all go to the library and stay there.
I'm gonna stay at my place. I promise I'll be okay.
Keep your phone closed then.
Okay.
Okay. What about you, Lars? Are you gonna go to your place too?
Yes.
All right.
You sure?
Yes. My place is more secure than any place you guys have, or any place that you can offer me.
Fine.
That's fine.
See if you can make heads of or tails of that computer, perhaps.
That's the plan. I don't know much about them, but electronics are electronics.
Right, drop us up at the library then, and we can pick us up at the library tomorrow at noon then, and we'll go to the park.
Sounds good.
Sorry, I
like
really
that
need to
idea.
Get something to drink. Sorry.
All right, so I will take you guys to the library and drop you off, and then I will go and head home, and I'll start working on
Sorry.
repairs of that laptop.
Okay, you're working on repairing a laptop?
Yeah.
Now, how are you going to go about doing that?
I have crafts.
You do. The laptop is split, not like between the monitor and the body, but rather across. So it's been cut and it's been like broken in half.
Oh. So I thought like snapped in half, like the screen was just ripped off. You mean like the actual keyboard?
Yeah, it's been snapped in
that
half.
way?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, in that case, I will make a new computer from those parts and other random parts that I have so that I can hook the hard drive up to it.
That is quite doable.
Nice.
Are you using
Let's make a new one.
Are you using a contract for that?
I will use a contract for that. I'm
Perfect.
going to use...
Sorry, by the way, I am having something tickling in my throat. That's why I went to drink, and it's still tickling. So.
That's fine. I'm going
We lost
to...
Trev as well.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So our cameras are all out of whack.
Yeah, Trev had to reboot his modem, he said.
Uh-huh.
He lost his stream and rebooting his
weird.
modem.
That's weird.
I will use Tatterdemillion's workshop,
Mm-hmm.
and I have large old-style classes and archaic tools as part of my workshop, and I will build a new computer out of spare parts.
Perfect.
Nice.
Would that reset the hard drive? It wouldn't, right?
No.
Sorry, you guys.
Hello.
My feedback disconnected somehow. So
That's fine. No, don't worry about it.
Come back.
Welcome back. All right, Lars. That takes how long to repair the computer? Does it say?
Action instant, duration instant.
That is certainly a useful ability that doesn't at all mess with the
Damn.
storyteller in any possible ways. But that's fine. You managed to create a computer out of the parts. You boot it up. It seems to be working. Alas, you do encounter another foil. Password for logging.
Could I have made this contraption small enough to fit in like a briefcase so that I can bring
yes,
it
for
with
sure.
me?
For sure.
Okay.
You even improved the battery life on it, which honestly was atrocious when you got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Now it will last 3 hours. Yeah. Yeah.
Instant computer repair and
Yeah.
battery extension. I mean, you're going to be the new Geek Squad. Call you the Space Squad. Can we do that?
Lars gonna be a millionaire at the end of this campaign.
Yeah.
Yes.
He can get it. Okay, so you bring it with you.
So that would be what I would do that evening before I rested, and then the next morning, Lars would actually like to crash Jonas's meeting about the courts, because he's not in a court either.
Brilliant. So now we know what Lars and Jonas will be doing. What are the rest of you doing with the rest of the day? It's late afternoon. It's about close to dinner time.
Nova went back to the closed coffee shop, and she goes up the stairs and say, "Hey, Ghost, still doing ghost stuff?"
It's the same routine again.
Yeah, okay.
She falls,
just checking
there's a
up on
loud
you.
smashing sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2, crash, 3, 4. Okay, I'll just be downstairs if you ever want to talk or anything or whatever. And she's
Hello?
kind of like,
Who's there?
it's me again. You know what? I mean, I feel like maybe not today, but I'll do this conversation tomorrow. I promise. She just kind of walks down the stairs.
She's locked in her old loop. It's sometimes you
Yeah.
can reach her, sometimes she hears you, but today she's stuck in it.
She's still there. We'll figure this out. And she just kind of like gathers up her little sleeping area, and she reads through the letters again, just looking for something salacious before it started getting repetitive.
Ooh, well, why don't you roll another wits investigation?
Oh, come on, dice. Come on, I need you to
give me
work
that
for me
good.
today.
Give me that good
Hold
gossip.
on. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay, make sure I'm giving myself all the dice I need. 4.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
It seems that Inkwell has developed some kind of code language with the person he's sending letters to, and there are, if you are interpreting this correct, some rather forward remarks that he's worked into the letters to this person, and they seem to respond in kind. So it seems like they're having some interesting conversation going on. You're not entirely sure if you want to know what some of these words mean, but it's certainly not.
You gotta roll for clarity damage.
Nah.
The swell of your seas in the letter keeps me alive.
It's moments.
It's a good evening that keeps going like, oh, should I? But then she just keeps like, okay, just like one more page, and she reads them all again.
It's you would be suffering clarity damage from secondhand embarrassment for sure. You kind of feel bad for the guy, but then you also kind of feel bad for the fact that he is missing a head right now. But
hey, he lived while he lived. I'm like, good for you, Inkwell. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah. What is Silas doing for the rest of the day?
Well, you remember the girl he was previously employed with at Blockbuster?
Oh, yeah.
He's going to try and figure out what's happening with her, if he has her phone number. I believe her name is Kelly, right?
I think so, yeah. Nielsen, right? Was it Nielsen?
I think so.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure her first name is Kelly.
Yeah. You have her number. Do you call or text her?
I start texting her, but after a few aborted tries of mashing keys on the keyboard, I backspace and go for a call instead.
Yeah. The number dials a couple of times, almost to the point where you'd imagine, like, when it finally stops dialing, you'd think that the the answering machine would be turning on, but you hear Kelly's voice. She goes, "Yeah, hi, this is Kelly."
Hi, Kelly. This is Silas.
Oh, hey, Silas. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to see how you were holding up after the store closed down.
Oh well, yeah, I guess it was just a long time coming, but I'm fine. I'm crashing at a friend's place in Minneapolis right now. I decided to just take a couple of weeks off, find myself, catch up on Netflix, because can't get enough of the movies. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, It's funny. I actually liberated a lot of movies from the blockbuster.
Oh, you did? That's crazy. They just let you take them?
No one else wanted them. I also have a player.
Yeah, that makes
And,
sense. It was a bunch of VHSs and DVDs, right?
Yeah, what I have only plays the DVDs, but I don't know. I get the feeling that we found an antique player. We could watch anything we wanted to.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure the library's got a VHS player if any place has got it. There's an old electronics store as well. You can check that out.
Hey, what's on Netflix?
Well, I mean, I'm currently watching this. All right, so you know Breaking Bad, right?
I'd heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is kind of like a spin-off about this lawyer in it. It's called Saul, but he's not actually Saul at this point. Saul Goodman, it's Saul Goodman. And it's about like how he becomes this lawyer. He's not actually a lawyer to begin with. I'll tell you what, I'll give you my account information and you can use my Netflix login. It's fine. Check it out for yourself.
Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, life's getting a little crazy over here. The bridge into town burned down.
No shit. Someone burned it down?
Someone lit the bridge on fire. It was... You don't expect it to happen, I'll tell you that.
No, shit, man. I would have never thought. Who would do that? Well, that's whack.
No one around here, that's certain. But,
Yeah.
Well, anyways, thanks for the account information. I'll see what I like and get back to you.
Yeah, no
Thanks,
problem.
Kelly.
Yeah, no problem. Let me know if you can run into any problems. I'll probably be just lying around eating chips for a while. I haven't had a vacation in years anyway.
I know the feeling. Enjoy Minneapolis, okay?
Yeah, will do. The food here is great. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Do we what is Jonas doing for the rest of the day?
Jonas is probably trying to calm down. When he's done that, he will probably go and stalk Allison a bit.
Oh boy. Is he just watching her at her coffee place, the usual stuff?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Do you approach her or are you just watching her?
No, I'm gonna stay invisible and just follow her. Try to like remember and focus. Trying to get out of my head with all this and let's stick to something that has been part of his mind from before and during and now after his durance. So just trying to find a focal point in life, basically, and for now, for better or worse, that is her. And for now, that means just stalking her.
Yeah, it's kind of comforting in a way that she's still got her daily routine. Like you can see she's on her phone a whole lot more. She's not writing a lot, but she actually seems genuinely happier. Like she's kind of smiling and she's carrying her groceries to her car and driving off to the Broadmeadows apartments and just seems to be doing okay. Like she didn't notice you. You obviously made sure that she wouldn't. But yeah, it doesn't seem like your previous encounter has cost her too much discomfort, as it were. But she's doing okay, and it's nice to know that her life is progressing normally. Like it's not as from out of the frying pan into the fire as it is with you recently.
Yeah. So that's trying to not right now, but looking for thinking about going back and meeting her in the cafe sometime, but not now, not this late or anything.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. What is Nate doing?
Nate's probably just gonna go back to the library and put together a game plan for getting rid of this fetch.
Brilliant.
Make sure weapons in working order. Make sure he's got gloves and shit, so he doesn't leave fingerprints, if he even can do that anymore.
Yeah, he's getting ready to murder. Nate is slightly jaded from the experience with the hedge, I can assume. Still only 1 dot in firearms, right? Or 0 dots?
I believe it's no dots in fire.
We gotta get that XP out.
Yeah, I've got like 20 something beats, I think, at this point.
Yeah,
So
we'll hand out some
probably
XP before next session. No worries, we'll fix it.
He's got a can-do attitude.
Yeah, it can make up for a lot. So you fix the game plan, you get the weapons ready, you spend an uncomfortable amount of time thinking how to best get rid of a body, which, if you actually stop to think about it, is kind of messed up. Like, you're a theater kid. This is not your stuff, but...
no, this is not his style.
Yeah, man, you do what you gotta do when in Rome, and as they say.
When in Rome, just straight up kill a dude.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's the old saying.
Translation's a little off, but...
Yeah, well, Latin's a dead language anyway. Nobody really knows.
They're all dead.
Yeah, for some reason. What is Ty doing with Flicker?
Well, Flicker's kind of sleepy, so Ty wakes her up when they get there and gives her a small tour of, this is the bathroom, this is where you can sleep, that kind of thing. And
Lots of fire blankets available.
Yeah, tries to get a slightly fire-resistant blanket or whatever. If there's some kind of.
Hey guys, I'd love to stay longer, but I have a class tonight, so
That's fine.
I have to
Okay, thank you.
We're just about to round
I'll
up.
see you later. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so we'll round things up. Yeah.
So Ty just kind of does that and then wanders around trying to find where Nate went.
You will find him preparing weapons in the library, I believe.
What you doing?
Gotta kill a fetch, don't we?
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about. What you doing?
I'm getting ready for that.
How?
Making sure
Show
my
me.
weapons are in order.
What are you gonna do? What are we gonna do, I guess?
Well, we're gonna find him, shoot him, and I don't know, get rid of him. Maybe dump him at the bottom of the lake.
Alright. Is the lake connected to any kind of drinking water supply, anything like that? Because if it is, we shouldn't.
You have no idea if it is.
It's gonna suck ass, and people are gonna find it. So. But, okay. Should I leave it to that?
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for not telling the others I was scared when we're going back.
It's all right. I don't think they needed me to tell him anyway.
I don't know where Jonas went, but I think if he knew, I think he would be even more upset. So,
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell.
I understand.
But, Your hands are rough. How are you doing that thing with the guns and stuff? I'll pick up my hand, and there's like, because you said they're like very sharp, like, right?
Yeah.
You can see like cuts. Some of them.
Oh,
have
jeez,
healed
I'm so
over.
sorry. I forgot about that.
Your hands are really rough, but it's okay. Like, when it hurts, I can focus, which is good.
All right. I'll wear
mean-
gloves in the future.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that sounds like a good idea. All right. Thanks.
All right.
I'll stay with the firecracker
All right.
over there.
I'll see you tomorrow then.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
I guess I can't try to find anything either, like on how to kill Faye. That's not just gonna be laying around, right? I gotta wait for
Yeah.
Matthew.
Not at the moment, no, because we also need to round up the game, unfortunately, because it's way
Yeah.
past midnight. But if you tell me what you want to do in between sessions, we will cover that in the next one. Thank you all very much for playing, and sorry for me fiddling around a little bit with the overlay. That's what happens when someone disappears from the stream, but that's all good. Thank you very much for playing, and once again, don't forget to back the Hunter the Vigil 2nd edition Kickstarter. It'll get there. It's going pretty rapidly. And also, if you're interested in trying out the Scarred Lands, they're constantly looking for playtesters for it. And I think from all of us to all of you, thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you again next week. Bye bye.
Thanks for
Thank
watching,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you.